Hi everyone, Marla Miller from marlamiller.com, presenting the 111th Quick Query Critique. Excuse me if I paused, I'm just having a little technical problems. Okay, so this is our 111th Quick Query Critique, so let's just get to it, see what we got. Dear blank, I'm seeking representation for a literary novel completed at 84,000 words, and see that your sales include fiction grounded in earth sciences. In Darkwater Rapids, botanist Tyler Lake, who wrecked his family with ancient Northwest customs that should have been left alone, returns to the Klamath River of his youth when his last chance to redeem himself gets blocked by a dam. After Tyler rolled the truck that killed his daughter-in-law, his scheme to repay his son backfired, leaving everyone close to him shackled to his disgrace and despair. His Klamath can offer a solution. If he can use his clout to save a dam removal project that will restore the salmon runs, everyone will consider his debts paid. Salmon are more than food and prosperity to the peoples of the Northwest. They are life. Tyler's search for the power to restore his world twists and ricochets like the river, from the suicidal fury of activists who call him a liar and murderer to the treachery of a smiling administrator he called friend. He flees to the eddies of the remote canyon where he had abandoned the unprofitable half of his heritage. There he teeters, 1 foot in modern science and 1 foot in timeless wisdom, and realizes neither is sufficient for the scope and speed of crises in the 21st century. The river speaks to him. Italics, there is a third way if you dare the plunge. You may emerge cleansed, a leader of renewal, or you may drown. End of italics. Tyler's challenge in Darkwater Rapids is based on the Klamath Basin Recovery Agreement released in 2010. I have been a member of the blank writers for 8 years, and an excerpt from this project won a blank award for fiction. Thank you for your time and consideration. Sincerely. Okay, so what do I think of Darkwater Rapids? Well, I think a lot's going on in this query letter, and for me, so much was going on that I really couldn't track too much of the story that this author is trying to tell. As I read the last portion, where the author says that a portion of this novel has already gotten some acclaim, I didn't look up the site that they said, it won an award on. I don't do that. I just go with what the author tells me. So if that's the case, that this has already been acknowledged, or a portion of it has been acknowledged, then what that tells me, or could tell me, is that the query letter does not hold up to the story. And that is often the case. I just had a Skype interview yesterday with a writer who also received some really good feedback about a memoir that he wrote, and yet the query letter, I didn't know what his story was about. And so that is often the case of writers who don't spend a whole lot of time pitching query letters. As I say to all writers all the time, write query letters. Just get familiar with them and write and write and write them. That would be my recommendation. In lieu of that, this letter needs reworking. First of all, I don't know if you could hear my breath, but I was certainly aware of how long the sentences were just by the amount of breath that I needed to complete a full sentence. In the first paragraph alone, one of the sentences is 4 lines long. That's a long sentence. It also is filled with all kinds of stuff, and because of that, by the end of the first paragraph, honestly, I did not know quite what this story was about. While the author said that this is literary fiction, it really read more like suspense, and perhaps even a little bit of paranormal thrown in there, because the river is speaking to him. And I know that literary fiction, that that is a device that novelists have used, but here it actually makes me wonder if there isn't some kind of paranormal stuff going on that allows the river to speak to him, and perhaps even give him the solution that will get him out of hot water with whoever. I don't really know. So speed bumps include the very long sentences, and because of those long sentences, I get lost. I don't know where this author's trying to take me, because I've got a little bit here, and I got a fragment here, and I've got a phrase here, etc. Okay, so and again, I post this on the site, so you all can take a look as well. In the second paragraph, he mentions his despair and disgrace. Not quite sure what that's about. Does it have to do with some ancient customs that he was not reverential about? Does it have to do with killing his daughter-in-law accidentally? I don't know. So I don't know. And then there's a mention of clout. Is it because he's a scientist that he has clout, and his kin think that that clout's going to be able to save the dam removal project? I don't know. Don't know the debts that he needs to pay, etc. I mean, I could go on and I won't. But I will say this, that this writer is certainly able to write very long sentences, and because this has already, again, gotten some recognition, I feel confident that this writer can revise this and just focus on the story that you're trying to tell. Don't include everything. Just focus on the major, part of the story that is the central theme of it, and hook us with that. And don't worry about the subplots, because all novels have them. They don't all have to be in a query letter, but what has to be in a query letter is the essence of what this story is about. Why would I pick up Darkwater Rapids and read it? One other thing that I think, just in terms of saving words, I don't know that you have to say that it's based on any kind of thing that happened in the recovery, the Clement Recovery Agreement. I don't know that that's even important at this point. What's important is hook us. And so if this writer has any questions or wants to continue this dialogue, I'm glad to do that. Just email me at marketingthemuse@gmail.com. Until the next time, writers, be well, keep writing.